Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang glide, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sleep like a lie.
Before we go any further, just want to say today's video is going to be brought to you by Fandomion. If you want to buy some really awesome anime merch from My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and Haiku, and so many other anime, I recommend using my link in the description box to check them out. And there's free worldwide shipping on orders over $39. You'll also get an additional 5% off using my promo code down below. For any of you guys who might be interested or on the fence, I highly recommend checking out the website. Pay attention to the size chart. That'll be the biggest thing I would tell you guys. But with that being said, though, let's jump back into today's video. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, and today I'm going to be taking another look at the fallout from the events of Boruto manga chapter 67, and I want to discuss a topic that one of my patrons asked me about, which is whether or not Kawaki should be sent to Hozuki Castle. Now, this isn't a fan theory video that would go into the Boruto fan theory playlist or the Naruto Explain theory playlist. This is just going to be a suggestion as to whether or not Kawaki being recommended to go to Hozuki Castle makes sense. Now, before someone has a knee-jerk reaction, starts writing, bruh, why would Kawaki go to Hozuki Castle? Kawaki did nothing wrong. I'll just say pump the brakes for a second, because I do think that there will be some ramifications for Kawaki's actions in the last few manga chapters, from leaving Konoha to outright disobeying the Hokage and killing Boruto, and having somebody in universe actually suggest Kawaki being sent to Hozuki Castle isn't the craziest thing, in my opinion. The reason being is that Shikamaru made a really good point in the manga chapter. He said that Konoha has to worry about its understanding with the other nations in light of Kawaki's situation. It's easy to forget that when Naruto made the promise to the Kages to watch over Kawaki, that was initially met with some pushback by his Kage peers, until Naruto and Gaara basically had an unwritten rule to play the Jinchuriki card, and Darby was pushed into the agreement because he was obviously thinking about Killer Bee. However, instead of Kawaki being held in isolation and in some type of a detention center like Shikamaru suggested, Kawaki was allowed to be under the watch of Naruto directly. It seemed like a brilliant idea at the time. Naruto agreed to take responsibility for Kawaki, which is huge, and it builds towards this potential suggestion of Hozuki Castle being on the table. Since this moment, Delta has come to Konoha and fought Naruto in a pursuit to bring Kawaki back to the Kara hideout. Naruto and Sasuke, as we all know, got bodied by Jigen, and we know this because of the PTSD that people have over that fight. Ishiki then came to Konoha and looked for Kawaki and proceeded to beat the brakes off of Naruto and Sasuke. After using Baryon mode, Naruto lost the Kyuubi, Sasuke lost the Rinnegan. Boruto was now close to being taken by Momoshiki, to the point where people are telling Naruto he has to kill his own son. If that wasn't enough, Kawaki abandoned the village on his own, engaged in battle with Code, and he directly disobeyed a direct order from the Hokage not to kill Boruto. Shikamaru, however, did concede that they might have been in a situation where there was no literal choice, but it's like I've been saying for years now, just because someone has the shot to fire doesn't mean that they should be the one who pulls the trigger. There's a process and a chain of command. Now, Kawaki was right, and that can be argued, and it should be argued. However, the fact is that he's shown the willingness to do whatever he thinks is best, in particular when it comes to Naruto, and is willing to carry out his intentions even at the direct opposition to what Naruto himself wants, and that is something that's a problem. It means that there are no lines that Kawaki won't cross, and as a shinobi, there's a chain of command that one has to follow. If you're a Genin and you're on a mission with the Chunin, you have to follow a lead. A Chunin on a mission with a special Jonin, like say Genma, the proctor from the Chunin exams battle in part 1, who refereed the match between Sasuke and Gaara. In that situation, Genma will be the one who calls all the shots. A special Jonin on a mission with a standard Jonin has to follow the standard Jonin's lead, which, as a reminder, special Jonin are a rank below standard Jonin despite the title. Now, the Hokage is the one who makes the final shots. everyone has to follow the Hokage's rule. Due to the terms of the peace treaty that they have, Naruto's going to have to share what happened with Kawaki to the other Kages. The Kages are going to see that despite Naruto's promise to them to watch over Kawaki, not even Naruto was able to keep his eyes on him 24/7, and even worse, now that Kawaki's regained the karma and awakened Shiki Otsuki's dojutsu, they're going to know that Naruto might not be able to stop him. In fact, it's very likely that he can't stop them just from the sheer hacks of the dojutsu. Kawaki is now someone who they know that the enemy wants for unknown reasons, which go beyond that of potentially feeding Kawaki to the Ten Tails, which we as the audience know that Code doesn't want to feed Kawaki to the Ten Tails because of Ada, but Naruto and the other Kages, they don't know that. And this could be one of the things that brings into question the very concerns that the Kages had when they were first presented with the question of what to do with Kawaki, which is, can they really trust him? Somebody could very well make the suggestion to have him sent to Hozuki Castle for his own protection, as well as to keep him in a secure location until they can agree upon further measures, because the belief that Naruto can keep watch over Kawaki is flat out false. Kawaki cannot be controlled. He will not be controlled, not even by Naruto, because if Kawaki deems his actions to be in the best interest of Naruto, he will do what he feels needs to be done, which is directly against the very nature of a shinobi who is supposed to follow the leader of their commander, i.e. the Hokage. It could be one of those factors that leads Kawaki to come to the conclusion that the age of the shinobi is over, which is what we see him state in Boruto chapter 1 during the flash forward sequence when he's fighting against Boruto. We always knew that there was going to be a split somewhere at some point in time. We all have asked ourselves the question, what causes a boy who is obviously obsessed with Naruto to eventually turn on him? How is this even possible in terms of a character arc? And right now we might be seeing it unfold. This could be used as a plot device should Kishimoto choose to do so. While I don't think it's likely, I am saying there is some room here. Kawaki did what he did because he thought it was best for Naruto, but now due to how the ninja system works, the man he tried to save could be pressured by his peers to lock him up. Kawaki will not take that lightly, and here's why. All Kawaki knew before Naruto was being locked up and being betrayed. His own father would lock him in a room with no food if he didn't bring enough liquor. The child trafficker who sold goldfish in Kawaki's village betrayed him by trying to take him from Jigen to sell him into child trafficking. The same when it comes to his own father, who betrayed him by selling him to Jigen. Jigen promised to take him to a safe place, only to betray him by making him a human experiment for Amado twice. Once to put the karma seal onto him, and then a second time by allowing Amado to place ninja tech into Kawaki's body on a cellular level. He was a prisoner in the Kara hideout, and according to Delta, he'll be punished in the most brutal ways by Delta, and likely the other Kara members as well. All of that stopped when Naruto took him in and promised to take him to a safe place. Kawaki fell in love with the affection and protection that Naruto gave him. Kawaki gained a brother in Boruto. He gained a sensei in Naruto. Now he's being potentially punished for trying to free his brother from karma and his adopted father from death. He left the village thinking that he was saving them, without thinking twice about the blatant disregard for the ninja rules, which state that a ninja who leaves the village without permission, they are to be treated like a rogue ninja. All of these things could be what attribute to his belief that the age of the shinobi is over, because the man who promised him a safe place might be forced to put him back in confinement, only this time he being Hozuki Castle. Maybe it's not Hozuki Castle number 2, which is meant for dangerous criminals. Maybe it's Hozuki Castle number 1, the one that Boruto and Team 7 went undercover at. The fact remains that Kawaki being in a jail, looking over his shoulder because he doesn't want to drop the soap in front of the wrong inmate, is something that will scar him and change him forever. This could be why he says that the age of the shinobi is eventually over, because the shinobi system has caused somebody he trusts to betray him. I don't think it's likely, but I do think that there is some narrative wiggle room there. However, I want to know from you guys, what are you guys' thoughts on this possibility? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, guys, like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.